Right to rectification. GDPR's user right to allow you to get your information rectified if you think the person processing your information is working on inaccurate information. This is what we are going to talk about in this short video. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you have been having daily content on data privacy. What is data privacy? Data privacy is my right to choose what personal information I want to share with whom and what is the purpose of it. So if you need my information and you come to me and ask me for some personal information, it is my right to choose whether I want to share and to what extent I want to share it with you. I have been giving regular examples of bank account opening. They come up, they give you a form, you fill up the form. And if the banker offline wants any other details, talks to you in general, says, what about your family, this, that, you don't need to provide that detail because that is not what is required to open the bank account. Until, of course, you want someone to be the nominee or joint holder in the account. Then the bank says, I would dispatch your checkbook by courier. If you are okay, fine. Else you can say, no, I'll come and collect the checkbook from the branch because I don't want that the bank should share my personal information, my name, my phone number, my address with a courier agency. So that's why your choice and that is your right under data privacy, right? Now, the key fact is that you would come to me and ask me for my personal information. You need to define a clear purpose, seek my permission to collect, process, and share my information. This is also called consent management. My YouTube channel has a lot of content about consent management and the overall rules and laws under which you are protected if in case your personal information is being wrongly used or wrongly shared is covered under data privacy. Data privacy gives you that legal aspect as well to protect your interest if in case you feel that your information is being wrongly used or wrongly shared with anyone. The other way how people can get your information or a processor can get your information is through a third party. And we saw it in the right of access yesterday that you have all the rights that if you see someone has your personal information and is using your personal information, you have the right to access and see what information they have and ask for the source of the information. In the next videos when we'll talk about erasure, right to erasure or right to be forgotten, you have the right to go back to them and say, boss, delete my information and don't process it any further, right? In this video, we'll talk about right to rectification. Why I mentioned all this is that you would generally say, I'm providing my information, so why rectification? So either if the information is provided by a third party or maybe the information provided is old enough that it needs some change. So you can always go back and use your right to rectification to get your inaccurate information changed. So user can use his right to information and access to find out what information is stored with you, and therefore he can tell you that tell the data processor that this part of the information is inaccurate and please change it. This is what is called right for rectification or right to rectification. This request could be verbal, this request could be verbal as defined by the processor, it could be written or whichever form the processor gives you to use your right to rectification. Processor must amend and rectify your information and erase the inaccurate information that he has, right? So he should replace the inaccurate information with the accurate information, and this activity also needs to be completed within 1 month, right? So he has to understand your request and act on it, erase inaccurate information and put in the accurate information within 1 month of you requesting for the rectification. The important thing for the user is that you have this right and you need to validate whether rectification is actually being done or not, right? Someone would say if they have wrong information, their problem, you can say that, but if they have wrong information and your post is sent on a wrong address or your email is sent on a wrong email ID. I had this with a banker where they wrongly put in someone else's email ID in my Demat account, and whenever I would transact, the transaction confirmation email would go to someone else and he would every day know what transactions I am doing on my Demat account because of this mistake that the banker did, right? So it is not just that as someone has put in wrong information, it's his problem, it's your problem as well. Your critical information related to that information might be getting being accessed or actually being pushed on to wrong addresses and wrong email IDs. So you should validate whether the information has been rectified. If the information rectification is delayed, you have the right to go to the data processing authority within that organization to complain about it. If still you are not heard or if your request is being rejected, then you again have the right to go to the DPA or even approach the judicial authorities to get your information rectified, because sending your further transactional or PIIs to a wrong place or a wrong address or a wrong email ID, or calling up or sending messages to a wrong phone number, is further a breach of data privacy, right? So it has to be rectified as early as possible. From a business point of view, it makes sense that if you know that you are sending it to an inaccurate address, or if you have inaccurate information about your user, then you should rectify it as early as possible. The only thing is that you need to validate whether the new information is correct or not. So you validate, and if you still think that you are not convinced that you have inaccurate information, you are allowed to reject it. However, as a best practice, it is recommended that first of all you restrict processing any information for which you have a rectification request, because someone has invoked his right and you are probably already breaching his privacy. And on top of it, until you get it rectified, there is no business sense also to send information to wrong addresses or email IDs. And if this information was shared with any other third party by you, then you should go to that third party also and get it rectified. Most important aspect is that you should document whatever is being done. Why have you accepted and resolved? Why have you rejected and resolved? And have you got it rectified from third party or not? And if third party is not rectifying, then is it very well documented? Because remember, the user has the right to go back to the judiciary to get his right to rectification used and protect his personal information. So if it is not properly documented with you when you receive a request, then you can be in big trouble. Else your documentation can help you protect yourself as a business in the court of law as to why was the right to rectification not fully granted or why was it delayed. What are the benefits? What values does it bring? It empowers the user. It builds trust, brand reputation, transparency. I as a user know that if by any chance you put in my wrong information, you will rectify it as and when I want you to do that. It helps processors with accurate information, so it makes business sense also to work with accurate information. It's not only just regulatory, but then you have to be on both the sides, right? It resolves any potential conflicts that may occur when someone would come back to you and say you are sending my details to wrong email IDs or wrong addresses or wrong phone numbers. And of course, it's a regulatory requirement, so you should take care of it. It's an important thing to have accurate information, and I think it should be a welcome thing for any business. When a user comes and says my information is inaccurate, please correct it. That's what I have on right to rectification. In coming videos, we'll discuss about right to erasure and right to be forgotten completely, or right to object to processing. I hope you like my content. Please press the like icon for this video and the bell icon. Stay tuned and subscribe with my channel so that you can get daily new updates, and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.